Unscripted.
We got surprisingly good news yesterday from Sony with the State of Play. While I don't think it was anything fantastic, I thought they did enough to sort of get people excited about the future of PlayStation. For me personally, some of the highlights, I know some people have asked me, I didn't do a live stream or anything like that, because I knew it wouldn't be like this huge E3 type event, you know, a half hour worth of video or whatever. So for me personally, just quickly, highlights are obviously Returnal, I think looks fantastic. Kenna Bridge of Spirits looks really, really intriguing. I think everybody, no matter which console you prefer, is liking the way that looks. It looks fantastic for like a AA title. Probably one of the few that I'm definitely going to get into. Then you also have Deathloop. Very interesting, because Deathloop is a one-year timed PlayStation 5 exclusive, and holy cow, we got a first look at that, and it looks incredible. Like, they sold me on it. I can't believe I was like, I didn't know what to think about that. So definitely looks good, and like I said, so funny to think that Microsoft will own that studio when that game comes out, and that game is an exclusive to PlayStation 5 for a year. So definitely interesting times we live in. You know, and then also, obviously, I thought that the big reveal for Final Fantasy VII remake, I thought that was absolutely incredible as well. You know, the fact that you're going to get added content, the Yuffie stuff, and also the fact that you're going to get all kinds of free upgrades from the PlayStation 5 version. Quick note as well, it was announced that we are going to get some incredible PlayStation games on PlayStation Plus for March, including Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, here's the interesting thing. That remake does not include the free upgrade, unfortunately. That's in the fine print as well. Again, so this is something that really is going to be interesting. So we're not sure if you're going to be able to maybe pay a fee, maybe $10 or something to upgrade to the PS5 version. But yeah, it's crazy to think that they did such a good job. So Final Fantasy VII Remake, Farpoint, which is a brilliant PlayStation VR game. If you have PSVR, I would suggest go all out and get it. This game called, it looks like Maquette. Yeah, some kind of puzzle game, I don't know. But Remnant from the Ashes as well is one of the games. So there's 4 games. You know, so this is really good news. Again, they've got kind of went all out. And when you look at what they're offering compared to what Microsoft is offering, it's clear that one company's kind of going in one direction and one company's kind of going in another direction. But this was just a little bit of a quick thing. You know, again, State of Play, what do you expect? I think many people expected this to be like a huge thing. But I still think that they did a pretty damn good job of getting some positive stuff out there. And that's not where it stopped, because we got even more news, and a lot of people was definitely interested in this. And I do think that this is exactly what a lot of people were asking for. So I'm very excited to sort of get into this. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys are looking for a way to help out a little crappy channel like mine, the best way to do it, a simple like. It goes a long way and means a lot to me personally. You know, that's the best way you can support a content creator. I don't have a big channel or the best channel or anything like that, but I do really rely on the likes, and please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. I do think you guys are really amazing and cool, and thank you so much for all the constant support and stuff like that. Again, it's been such a crazy, crazy time, but yes, Sony did make a kind of surprise announcement, and I thought this was really cool for them to do the way that they did it, and this is what a lot of people were asking for, myself included. Finally, some really brilliant news from Sony. So a lot of people are wondering exactly when we're going to be able to get the update for the solid-state drive expansions on the PlayStation 5, and now we have an answer for that. The firmware update to enable the solid-state drive expansions is going to happen this summer. The ability of solid-state drive expansions built into the PlayStation 5 was unveiled almost a year ago by system architect Mark Cerny. Sony, in fact, did add an NVMe M.2 port for the specific purpose, but when the console launched in November, we learned that it would not be active for the time being. A later firmware update would actually enable the solid-state drive expansion. Right now, if you try to insert a solid-state drive expansion to the port, the PlayStation 5 doesn't boot anymore. Of course, technically you can also connect a USB hard drive in order to exploit additional storage capacity, but that only works for PlayStation 4 games working through backwards compatibility. Now, a new report published today by the Japanese version of Bloomberg suggests that the update is on its way, scheduled to hit some point this summer. The same firmware update also improved the rotation speed of the console's cooling fan, and this will be needed to avoid any potential overheating issues once users add solid-state drive storage into the console. Still, the solid-state drive expansion will definitely be the highlight of the upcoming PS5 update. Storage capacity is becoming a huge issue due to some games such as Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Warzone, Black Ops. So just this week, Activision warned PS4 users that they might have to make room in order to keep these games installed and up to date. So again, that's going to be very interesting. And this was actually what was said about that. Those who own a standard PlayStation 4 with a default hard drive of 500 gigabytes may need to make room if they have the full versions of Modern Warfare, Warzone, and Black Ops Cold War with all modes and packs installed. Should you have both games installed and have to keep up to date with the updates, you may need to delete some unused game content to save a successful download and install of Warzone patch tonight. Obviously, the PS5 doesn't have a ton of available space. Initially was 667 gigs versus the PS4's 407. The funny thing is they make no mention of the Series S, which is 300 and something gigs, and there was also a 500 gig Xbox One that is still active and can play these type of games. So it does look like this summer we're going to be finally getting the update to make all these things that much better on the PlayStation 5. And again, that's something that, you know, they're really kind of paying close attention to and making sure that people get out there and kind of get these things that they're asking for. I feel like that's something that's hugely important, just as fans, that we continue to see this kind of stuff come about, and we continue to see, you know, gamers really kind of express themselves that they want stuff, and then Sony's actually out there listening. I think that's the most important part that I can kind of take away from this. You know, and it comes at a really good time too, because, you know what, let's be honest, there's not much coming until maybe like after summer anyway. So when it all comes down and it's all said and done, I think a lot of us are probably going to end up playing some old games. I kind of made this joke previously. You know, I'm not like a fan of kind of going back and, you know, playing old games, but it looks like a lot of us are going to have to do that. And, you know, it makes sense that, you know, we're going to need the storage and stuff in time for, you know, like the Ratchet and Clanks and things like that. So as far as I can tell, like, Sony's on the right path for this, and, you know, I'm excited to kind of I actually want to see how much this stuff's going to cost. I can imagine that it's going to be in line with the price of the Xbox storage, which was, you know, like the $200 or whatever. So, you know, I think that, you know, people should probably make ready for that, because I think that that's going to be a reality sooner rather than later anyway, you know what I mean? But again, I guess it really just all comes down to what people are going to do. I think this generation for me is going to be a little bit different in the fact that I always get a ton of games, and I like to have these games installed, right? But the fact that the solid state drives are so expensive, I don't think that's going to be a thing. Like, for instance, on my Xbox, I have 16 terabytes of external storage. Okay, and so that's where I keep a lot of my games, and, you know, I like that. And even on my PS5, I have a 6 terabyte storage, USB storage for all my PS4 games, and you know, and again, I like to do that because, you know, sometimes you might want to play something different, or you might be in the mood for something more casual, or you might be in the mood for something else. And so for me personally, I really like kind of going about that in that sort of way. So for me, I'm excited by the opportunity to have more storage. I just think that, you know, obviously the storage is not going to be as much as what we had previously, and I think that's a bit of a bummer. But again, getting this update definitely comes at a really good time, and I'm excited to hear what, you know, what else is going to change this summer. You know, obviously we're going to continue to get updates with these consoles, and that's a really exciting thing, to say the least. So, you know, with that being said, I know a lot of you guys are going to be excited by this, and, you know, a lot of you are going to be, you know, amped up to see exactly what, you know, what we're going to be able to get. And again, Sony seems to be nailing it. They're knocking it out of the park. You know, PlayStation Plus is probably the best value in gaming, right? I'm being honest, right? Like, I stacked my PlayStation Plus when it was on sale for like $26, and so I'm covered for years. But the games and the quality that they're giving out is just unmatched, you know. And then when you look at the stuff that Microsoft is giving out, it just, it's not there. The quality is not there. You know what I mean? I think that that's probably one of the biggest advantages to what Sony is doing right now. They seem to not be afraid to kind of jump in. Not only that, but if you look at what happened at yesterday's situation, they really went out there and they did a good job of announcing also that even like the new game Oddworld would come out. So I think that's smart to announce like little double A's like that as going directly into the service, because I think that can help. I think the only hindrance to doing something day and date would be like a big AAA or something like that, where you need the sales to it. So yeah, very cool to see this. I'm going to link this in the description below. Please check it out. Peruse it at your own leisure. Let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Take care of each other. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.